what's on the screen right now is a Canvas environment, right? And if you look in this Canvas environment, we've got some assignments and we've got some labs. In this lab section, we've got a Databricks University Alliance lab. And so what I'll do is I'll switch over to a student view here and just kind of demonstrate the student experience. So they can just click into the Databricks University Alliance lab, and what you'll see is Vocarium spinning up the environment, right? So we've essentially, let me do a reload here. So what we've done is assigned a Databricks user to the learner, and then we've launched the Databricks workspace, and so they are essentially SSO straight into Databricks here. Okay, so there's no need for anyone to go and log into Databricks separately. It's essentially iframed inside a Canvas environment, right? So it's actually a double iframe, right? So we've got Vocarium lab iframed into Databricks through LTI, and then Databricks iframed into Vocarium through SSO. Okay, and so of course, if you need a little more real estate, you can expand and use full screen there. Okay, and from here, of course, here we've got some compute that's already been spun up, but it's not running. Okay, and so then the specifics of the instance are already predefined as we were talking about before, right? And so this is an I3X large. Okay, and as a student, the student can go to their workspace and bring up their work. When they're done, they can end the lab and come back, and they can continue their work, right? And so there's so this is a pretty straightforward environment. You'll see up here there's a Databricks with a green, which basically means okay, the lab is running, and here it tells you okay, I've used 1.7 hours out of 160 total hours. My session, this interactive session, is counting down from two hours, and so as it gets closer, the student can decide if they want to continue to work, or they can end the lab, they can restart the lab and whatnot, right, and just continue where they were. If you need to, we also have this Databricks details, so you can actually launch Databricks into a new tab, right? And so then that's not iframed anywhere. This is just purely straight to a Databricks environment. Okay, so that's the student experience. So it's very, very simple, streamlined. There's not really anything for them to do other than their work within Databricks and just watching their time. Okay, and as an instructor, let's switch over to this tab here. This is the instructor view of the world, right? And we've got a Databricks Alliance lab here, and the settings for this. So we've got team projects, so we can configure this to be a team project, right? And we can set up some team assignments. Within this section, we are actually defining the characteristics of that lab, and so this will be preset for you depending on your selection. Is it a GPU lab or a CPU lab? Okay, and then as an instructor, if I go to the class view, then I can see all the students that are in my class, right? And you'll see here, there's when I went into the student view, there was a test student, right? And when I click on the test student, then I can actually see, how they're doing with relative to the budget, what sort of activity they've performed, and then actually go visit their work area as well. And then this is essentially a class view, right? So you can see which other students are inside that class. And if they're showing green, that means they're actively inside that lab. Gray, they have not visited yet. Red, they have ended the lab and they're not currently present. So yeah, so that's pretty much the learner experience, the student, the instructor experience. For the most part, the configuration of the labs is fully covered by Vocarium, and so it's more of an administration detail for the instructors. And then, of course, if you want to integrate it into your learning management system, we can help you with that as well. So, for example, if I wanted to integrate this into Canvas, there's a little LTI link here that you would drop into Canvas or into Blackboard or whatever. So, yeah, that's the demo. And I guess next steps, basically, if you haven't already joined the Databricks University Alliance, work with Rob, and then get started with Vocarium. Reach out to sales, and of course, any questions we can discuss here, or you can send some emails.